Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I at this point respectfully invite for the presentation of Kola Note, His Royal Majesty Eze Barrister Uche Azaya Eliku JP Eze Para Rebisi the 12th.
Distinguished Bankalama Mekau, Port Harcourt Mekau, River State Mekau, Nigeria Mekau, Eleonem, Excellencies, may I seek your leave to discharge the duty in my native dialect, sir, for Kola does not understand English. Negri Libunoa, Ejibelam, Dindaka Neger, Ejigarabunu, because Chineke Atarejika, Atabudungologu, Atalata, Hioshirike, Atalata Ekunova. Nihomeneleka Megabasunda. Ani oblabo ho dashi aga bigo kwa gweme na ya buru ho dashi sunda ikwe ma wedishi nda mrame kwelem buru mu na ndebia kuran yo duruba n'otu la hana n'oro bigo ozinye gwu no kponochi ozinye roho na ata ozinye rishi n'okwu ala ndị uma soro yo durai n'otu do na orai nda bigo ala bala ikwe megwu kwai n'ochi rishi bo kwai roho batai buru ha ga no ro esu nda ke n'eligwe Nene hangoi, none hone won soy. Can I drive Mika? Yerishibigo Ejibelam. I can make an answer my joke on Matakole, Jack and Jamaica.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to give the welcome remarks, may I respectfully invite the Chief Medical Director of River State University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Friday E. Aaron, JP, MNIM.
Your Excellency, Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, Commander of the Order of Niger, Grand Service Star of River State, Power of Sports Africa, Life Venture. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of River State, a medical elder, Dr. Mrs. Ipalibo Harry Banigo, Distinguished Service Star of River State, the Right Honorable Speaker, Ikuyi Owaji Ibani, Speaker of River State House of Assembly, kindly permit me to leverage on the already established protocols for this event. Your Excellency, I am most delighted and excited to welcome you to this event. Being the twin commissioning of the House Officers' Quarters for the River State University Teaching Hospital and the Renal Center also for River State University Teaching Hospital. Very special event, and I'm most delighted. Your Excellency, permit me to use this opportunity to appreciate you for your good works here. You have continued to support us. You have continued to change the face of this hospital. The work you have done here has made this hospital the first choice public hospital in River State. Just recently, you approved for gazetting, and that has been done. The component unit of this university, based on the law, River State University Teaching Hospital Law number 5 of 2017, you have gazetted that this place we are becomes the nucleus for the River State University Teaching Hospital. And also that the then maxillofacial hospital will now serve and is undergoing renovation with other infrastructures being added to it to serve as the dental, maxillofacial, ENT, and eye hospital center for this hospital. You have also gazetted that the old abandoned NDDC orthopedic trauma hospital at the old general hospital site become the orthopedic trauma, neurosurgery, bones and plastic, and accident unit of this hospital. You also gazetted that the health center at Port Johnson become the urban health center for this hospital. Your Excellency, I want to say that ever since the past 4 years, doctors have never demonstrated or gone on strike to employ house officers or to pay them. We have had them employed and paid promptly. Your Excellency, we are most grateful. And these house officers and other interns of physiotherapy, nursing, radiography, medical lab science have to do this mandatorily before they start their professional life. And we have continued to engage them. Your Excellency, in a very short while, we will receive here again to commission a project that is started long on the re-equipping, renovation of the main nucleus, that is this site. It is almost 100% completed, and by the time it is finished, we would have had all our equipment for the clinical side renewed, new ones, and that will be in a very short while. All the beds of the hospital have already been changed. That's for another day. Your Excellency, the event of today, the commissioning of the Renal Center, which I say is a signature of your genuine love for the people of Rivers State. Because whenever I remember the genesis of this project, when you notice while passing that there was a project going on, then by the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Company, and you asked what was going on, I told you. And you asked the components, I told you we only had dialysis and not enough dialysis machines. You said no. And your usual self, with their tagline, what I call your tagline, Rivers State deserves the best. And that was what you said. Our people deserve the best. Our people deserve the best. They cannot have that. It must be. And you ask what it will take to make it a world-class center, which today we have and we are here to commission. And you quickly asked us to update the scope. That was done. You approved it 100%, including training. And today, that is why we are here. We have a world-class renal center. This renal center, like I've said, we will hit the ground running, doing dialysis, and we have started training our staff locally, and we have made arrangements to train some internationally. Now, for the House Officers' Quarters, just recently we received the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria on a reaccreditation visit to our hospital for the training of house officers. They were there and they said that this is the ideal for the house officers. With all appurtenances, everything for the house officers. I want to say thank you. And as a hospital, we want to say, like we have taken ownership of the radiology equipment that you commissioned on 1st November 2019 here, and all the equipment are up and running. And that has made us a flagship center for radio diagnosis in the South-South. And so we want to pledge that for the Renal Center, we will maintain the equipment, we will work on it, and our people will get the best at a competitive rate, realizing that it's a government hospital. For the House Officers' Quarters, we have already designed, we have come up with guidelines, because I remember as you commissioned it, you said in two weeks' time it will change. We have developed guidelines to ensure that what you have given to us will be utilized appropriately and adequately. Your Excellency, I am constrained to make requests. I am not Oliver Twist, but because of your giant strides in this hospital, we are constrained to request that you will recall that the first project you did on this ground was the renovation of the orthopedic block. And after renovating it, you realized that the scope did not include the equipping. And that led to the expansion of the renovation for the whole hospital. And we had to use the orthopedic block as a transit ward. The block has 4 units. Transit work to make for renovation. And that's part of why the renovation work has not completed. We moved from one place to the other, and now we're almost done. And that block that was the first to be renovated will now require facelift. And that is my own word, I can say, because that's the orthopedic block. Your Excellency, I want to plead that that one be completed and everything will look the same. Your Excellency, I want to say that this place, because of the work going on here that you have done, we now have more patronage as a First Church Public Hospital. When you come here on a day like Monday, it is difficult to even access our accident and emergency department. What that means is, therefore, what you have started by decongesting and sending parts of the hospital to other areas will still require acquiring contiguous adjacent properties for the purposes of expansion and for the purposes of parking vehicles. I think this should be considered and given attention. Your Excellency, Today, we have a renal center. Our services have expanded. Our services have expanded. Unless to say that doctors are traveling out of the country seeking for greener pastures, and we are not exempted from that. So we need manpower. We need manpower. I'll be very happy, and my joy will be made full if we can hear today that we will employ staff again for Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, and that will make our day. Your Excellency, sir, I want to use this opportunity to say something and make a prescription. Today in Nigeria, doctors and other health workers are leaving. I want to say, even in Rivers State, if Rivers State can be the example, that once a health worker leaves for greener pastures, it becomes an administrative emergency. And that health worker, whether nurse, doctor, pharmacist, physiotherapist, radiographer, is replaced as emergency. What will this do? This will ensure that the already distorted equilibrium will not further be distorted. It will also ensure that those who intend to leave because they have nothing doing will not leave. And this will help our country. Your Excellency, is on this note that I gladly, from the depth of my heart, say welcome to the commissioning of Rivers State University Teaching Hospital Renal Center and the House Officers' Quarters. God bless us all.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I invite to entertain us with a playlet written by Dr. Ovundai Hunwa, the Image.com Theatre Group, and the playlet is titled The Renal Safety.
Hey! What are you saying? What are you saying? Messi, he got my tickets. Libra, he got my tickets. What I was saying? Yes? No. He's wrong. Libra.
What is going on? Are you talking about Messi?
Yes.
Talking about
My God.
My husband, you are back so early. Is everything all right? And you look so worn out.
I could not stay focused in the office. I had to leave. I could not think of anything meaningful.
Sorry, my brother. I think you need some medications and at least rest. It might be stress, so you understand? Because the situation of this country can make someone break down or even die. Yes.
My good neighbor, thank you very much for your concern. I'll just go inside and sleep.
Yes, go inside.
Okay, that's
You need to rest. You need to rest.
Hey!
Hey! Rise up! Yes, brother. Rise up! For the rise! I said rise! Libra! Holy Ghost! Fire! Holy Ghost fire! Holy Ghost fire!
Can you all stop this? This is not a matter of casting and binding. We should take him to the hospital.
You are very correct. I will go now and get a taxi.
Yes, get the taxi.
Don't die, my husband.
Tonja, you will rise. Tonja, I say rise. Please.
Doctor, thank God you are here.
Rise, Tonja. You will rise. You cannot die.
What is happening?
You cannot
Give
die.
him space. Give him space.
Thank you, doctor.
Doctor, you're here. The Holy Spirit directed you. Help my husband. My husband will not die.
He cannot die.
Toya, you will not die.
He will not die.
You will not put me to shame,
At
Toya.
all.
Toya, you will not die.
He will not die. Libra. Kwa. Glory. Praise him.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Glory.
What happened to him?
He only came back from work complaining that he was tired. And suddenly he collapsed. My enemies at work.
Yeah, at work.
But my God will disgrace them.
Fire.
Madam. Is that what he told you? Your husband, I examined your husband 2 weeks ago, And the test results showed that he had possible signs of renal failure.
Eh?
I advised him to come back for a confirmatory test, but he never showed up. So I was passing by to find out why he didn't come again.
Renal failure?
Yes.
God forbid!
God forbid!
It is not the portion of my husband! My husband will leave!
Madam, it's not about whose portion it is. We need to learn to keep our appointments with our doctors, to follow up on our health conditions. We do. Fortunately, he's not in a bad state. But we need to run some tests, to confirm the stage of his ailment.
You mean to tell me that people will not die with this ailment in River State? That is too good to be true. Of course, between last year and now, I can categorically tell you that I know more than 5 persons, who have died of kidney failure. Yes, may their soul rest in peace. So now tell me what is different in this one?
The story will soon change. The River State government saw the need to combat this ugly situation and called for a state of emergency in the health sector. It just took 1 year. 1 year to build and equip the Renal Center. The center, as I speak to you, the center has 2 theaters, one for the donor and the recipient. We are fully equipped to handle end-stage renal diseases, renal replacements. We also have laser equipment to crush down kidney stones.
What?
And a center for research and development for early diagnosis and end-stage and renal diseases.
Doctor, they cost.
Very competitive. Very, very competitive. As we all know, we need funds to maintain our equipment. But I promise you, and I assure you, that the medical expenses will be pocket-friendly. Very pocket-friendly, such that you cannot find anywhere else.
My God is too faithful to fail.
The Lord cannot do, does not exist.
Doctor, can we now take my husband to the hospital?
Of course, of course, of course. We need to take our health very seriously and avoid emergency situations like this. Early diagnosis and management of diseases like this makes it easier for the patient to survive.
Let's take it now. Let's take it. Gradually, let's go.
We thank you very much for this intervention in the health sector. The other day, it was the cardiovascular center. And today, the renal center. Our governor. May God shield you and your household from ailment and any form of attack. May your days be long. May you live healthy and prosperous. Let's go to the hospital.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please can we put our hands together once more for them? May I now invite to make a presentation the interns of the River State University Teaching Hospital.
With utmost deference to His Excellency, Chief Barrister Wike, Commander of the Order of the Niger, GSS ROS, Power of Sports Africa, Life Bencher of the Body of Benchers, Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor, other distinguished personalities here, who for avoiding skipping, I would like to opt to adopt the already established protocols. I am Dr. Daniel Faithful Miebaka, the House Officer Representative for the 2022-2023 cohort of House Officers. Today, I am not only representing my colleagues, House Officers, but all the other 6 professional interns who are currently doing their 1-year compulsory internship program at the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital. Your Excellency, we have been trained from various universities across the world, and today we're opportune to have worked here and gained employment to the Rivers State Civil Service, however temporary. We have been in awe at the quality of services that we have seen here. Rivers State University Teaching Hospital can arguably be adjudged as one of the best tertiary centers across the country. We have also been opportune to work with state-of-the-art facilities. The radiology suite provides 24-hour radiology services. We have now the Renal Center, which beats every other renal facility in the country, even those in the Federal Capital Territory. Your Excellency, our patients benefit from very conducive wards during their stay while they receive care. We have also benefited from quality of teachers who you have engaged and employed to make our 1-year training under this period worth the while. Your Excellency, we are not also isolated to the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital. We're also aware of the massive infrastructural drive across the state. We are seeing, eyes have seen and ears have heard of the wonderful things that you've wrought for Rivers people. Overall, we are witnesses here, including patients. All those who have cause to come across this gate can bear testament of the dividends of good governance and your interest, overwhelming interest in being devoted to the welfare of Rivers people. We had the conversation as colleagues a few weeks ago, and we're talking about the benefits of the Lagos Business School, how it empowers Nigerians when it comes to entrepreneurship and business management. Your Excellency, we are of the opinion that if there will be a school of governance and administration, then it's possible that one of the compulsory courses should be devoted to the administrative life and times of His Excellency Governor Nyesom Ezenwo Wike. Without wasting more time, I, on behalf of the amazing persons who are behind me and flanking me, we have decided to present His Excellency with an award of prestigious service in governance as Nigeria's foremost healthcare reformer. Your Excellency, we ask for your permission to make this presentation. Thank you.
We are very, very grateful for all you have done for us. We are very, very grateful. We are saying thank you.
Excuse me.
Which of the commissioners? Which one?
Health.
Thank you.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I at this point invite to give the project description the Honorable Commissioner for Health in Rivers State, Professor Princewill Chike, MD, DMP.
Your Excellency, Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, Commander of the Order of the Niger, Grand Service Star Rivers State, Power of Sports, Life Bencher of the Nigerian Bench, and of course the Infrastructure Governor of Nigeria. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Rivers State, the Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly. Please, Your Excellency, permit me to attach myself with the already established protocol for want of time. Your Excellency and your guests and entourage here to do another special for the CMD of the teaching hospital, to those who acted the playlets, And the medical house surgeons that came here earlier, they tried to make or it will not be complete if I don't have to say certain things about the Renal Center that you have just built for this teaching hospital. I'm sure a lot of people will be wondering what we say Renal Center, Renal Center. A special unit in the body of practicing medicine that most of the time we overlook. The era where people swallow all kinds of things, drink all kinds of concoctions, and never visit the hospital. Everybody practices medicine, gives advice. Small backache, what the general public calls backache, may be a loin pain. A loin pain is specifically a renal problem and not just backpain. Before you know it, would have gone massaging or taking all kinds of treatment prescribed by whoever we don't know. What you have done here for this teaching hospital, like you heard earlier, is one of its kind in the whole country in Nigeria with the equipment it has. Before we could bask ourselves with the excitement you had with our limbic system and hypothalamus, the excitement we had over the commissioning of the cancer, we already have come into the Renal Center. We already know that the dental, maxillofacial, and ophthalmology unit is almost at its end stage completion. You have done this for us. For the Renal Center that brought us here today, it is a special center. The kidney, for your information, is like the sock away for you, the WC. One tells you what happens when your sock away is bad. If you have lived in a yard before, I don't know how you live there. It is this center that handles your body. Yes, there are other bodies, parts of the body that handle your waste. But the kidneys are special. I want to use this medium not just to tell you what this center will do. Watch what you eat and where you go for help. This center is a one-story building specifically thought out for. Made sure that it was completed by His Excellency himself. When I look at this center and when I look through and everything it contains, I say, this is it. In the ground floor, of course, you have a ramp, which will definitely take the trolleys for patients upstairs. And a trolley lift, very effective trolley lift that can take 13 persons installed here. As you go into this center, you have the reception area. In that ground floor, there is an area for the lab, of course, the doctors' call rooms and the nurses' call room. And then there is also the provision of water treatment plants because the water and chemicals used to work here are special because of the sensitivity of the kidneys and managing kidney problems. Of course, in that same ground floor, you have the dialysis area, special area mapped out with 5-6 beds with dialysis machines. I'm sure people have talked about dialysis. It costs a lot to dialyze, to do dialysis. So by the time you leave the ground floor and go to the first floor, either by a lift or by the staircase, you go to the first floor. This is where we have, first of all, offices. There are other offices there. There are 2 theaters, just like the playlet drama artists said here. One is for nephrectomy, where you have patients who will donate their kidneys. Of course, prior to that, they would have been in a ward, which is another separate area, where both the donor and the recipient will be. Of course, the organs would have been effectively and properly matched. The equipment to match them and make sure they do not reject, the organs do not reject, we also have them in this center. And of course, by the time you have stayed overnight, both recipient and the donor, by the time you stay over, then you are ready and they make sure you have, yes, your organ is fit to be transplanted. You go to the nephrectomy theater where the organ is effectively removed and protected and cared for effectively. And then the second theater where it will be reimplanted to the recipient. And of course, when you leave there, you go to the high dependency unit area, which is also to monitor you within 3, 4, 5 days. You'll be there and be monitored to make sure nothing goes wrong. Of course, state-of-the-art equipment are also there. Of course, we mentioned about the laser and other equipment provided. Of course, by the time you leave that place, you would have had everything done for you. It's not just the dialysis. By the time you have gone to the end stage where you require transplant, the facility is there for you. You know you can't run this facility without effective power. There is a 100 kVA generator provided to add up to the national grid. And of course, 30 kVA inverter system with 60 flyers on top to make sure that we have enough power supply for this system. So as I tell you, our personnel have also been trained. More are being trained to join them. Without mincing words, by the time we go in there, the governor and his entourage will go with few to see what is inside and will explain them to you what I have just said. This is one of the best in this country. We thank His Excellency for his love for the health sector. Your Excellency, thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to give a remark on behalf of the contractor, Duboc Nigeria Limited, may I invite Duboye Graham Douglas.
Your Excellency, Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, CON, GSSR, POS Africa Life Venture. Please permit me to stand on the already well-established protocols. I stand here to thank His Excellency and the Rivers State government for giving us the opportunity not only to design the Renal Center and also the House Officers' quarters, but also to be able to have built and constructed such an infrastructure for the use of Rivers State. We have tried to do something that is credible in accordance with international standards. We have also tried to ensure that in everything that we have done, there is a maintenance history manual and all the required services for the equipments and all that is in the center to have a maintenance-free life or service life. Again, I say thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency, for giving us the opportunity. God bless Rivers State. God bless Nigeria.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I at this point invite to give the goodwill message the Chairman, Nigeria Medical Association, Rivers State, Dr. A.B. Robinson.
Your Excellency, Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, CON, GSSRS, POS Africa Life Venture, Executive Governor of Rivers State, Your Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Palebo Hariban, and an elder of the Medical Association. Ma will thank you. Your Excellency, please permit me to leverage on already established protocols. Your Excellency, today we are here to commission the Renal Center. A few days ago, you commissioned the Dr. Peter Odele Cancer and Cardiovascular Center, and thereafter the clinical hostel and the clinical administrative block and basic clinical administrative block and lecture halls for the Rivers State University, and today the Renal Center. Your Excellency, I want to just mention that renal diseases prevalence is about 10.1% globally, and national data shows that it's about 16% in Rivers State. And that comes to show that there's a dear need for a renal center and a place to treat renal diseases. So we want to particularly thank you and profusely appreciate you for building this renal center, because it is going to reduce the complexities associated with the treatment of renal diseases. But Your Excellency, I mention that the surge in renal diseases cannot be overemphasized, because there are a lot of pharmacological products and concoctions being sold everywhere in the motor parks, in the taxis, even in churches. These have contributed immensely to the prevalence of renal diseases that we are presently seeing. And therefore, Your Excellency, I want to crave your indulgence to please let the House of Assembly make laws to prevent the marketing and sales of pharmacological products in the churches, in the parks, and in buses. This will, as a method of prevention, control and reduce the prevalence of renal diseases. So therefore, Your Excellency, we want to thank you so much for giving us the Renal Center. And I know and I'm believing that the management and staff of the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, led by Dr. Friday Aaron, will manage that center very effectively and very efficiently. Your Excellency, we also thank you very much for the House Officers' Quarters that you have built. It is going to give our young doctors the comfort that they deserve in training and in service. Your Excellency, I want to also mention that there is a national disaster, and this national disaster is the human capital flight, which we all call brain drain. This has affected almost every aspect of the state, every aspect of the country, and every professional going round, from doctors to nurses to pharmacists, lab scientists. They are already in their need. So there's a catastrophic shortage of manpower, and also very, very accentuated shortage of specialized manpower. Therefore, Your Excellency, I want to mention that the causes of this brain drain is not far-fetched. And I know the government know. It is welfaristic and to an extent security. And that is why people are leaving. If people are being paid what they have been receiving outside, I think the doctors, the nurses, and the pharmacists will not leave. So the cause of the brain drain borders on welfare issues. Let me make an example, Your Excellency. There is a cancer and cardiovascular system, and there will be invasive cardiologists that will be working there. There will be interventional cardiologists that will be working there. There will be interventional radiologists that will be working there. And these people, while dispensing ionizing radiation, also predispose themselves to stochastic and deterministic effects of radiation. And by saying so, Your Excellency, sir, that means while they work, they also dispose themselves to probably having cell death and cancer. And if these individuals are not paid simple things like hazard allowance, what will be the next option? Your guess will be as good as mine, because they'll find a next available flight going to the US or going to the UK or Saudi Arabia. Therefore, everything borders around welfare. Your Excellency, sir, you are the doing of infrastructural development. But I want to borrow a leaf from a great philosopher, a German philosopher. And let me use this word, Friedrich Nietzsche, to describe you. He said, you are a genuine man, a very simple man. You are a man of 1 million. You are, in honesty, a repository of wisdom and a scent of knowledge. And he concluded by saying, you are a great man. For we in the medical profession, that is the words of the philosopher Friedrich. But I want to say you are the primus inter pares of welfare and of infrastructural development in the health sector. Your Excellency, sir, on this note, Your Excellency, I want to say that you have been nominated to the highest award of the Nigerian Medical Association, being the Roll of Honor Award. This award is there to us as doctors. This award is not just be given to governors. We don't give it to every governor or every government functionary. Neither is it associated with political power, but we give it to whom deserves it. And therefore, in the next annual general meeting of the Nigerian Medical Association, this award will be conferred on you. Once again, Your Excellency, let me give a vote of confidence to the staff and management of the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, led by Dr. Friday Aaron. And on behalf of the State Officers Committee, on behalf of the State Executive Council of the Nigerian Medical Association, I say a very big thank you to Your Excellency and distinguished guests for the commissioning, initiating, executing, and today commissioning of the Renal Center and the House Officers Quarters today, to the glory of God and to the service of humanity. Thank you, and God bless you.
Oh, Suleiman. Oh, Suleiman. Yano Sarima. Zinurime Chokike. Oh, Suleiman. Oh, Suleiman. Oh, Suleiman. Oh, Suleiman. Yano Sarima. Zinurime Chokike.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, may I invite to give his address the Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, Commander of the Order of the Niger, Grand Service Star of Rivers State, Life Bencher.
You be seated. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the Honorable Speaker, the former Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, the Chairman of our great party, the former Deputy Chairman of our great party, members of the State Assembly that are here. I've seen Senator Barinada Mpigi and Senator John Azotambata that are here, members of National Assembly, the Chairman of River State Hospital Management Board, the Dr. Friday Aaron, who, by the grace of God, as a young man, is doing well to make sure that this teaching hospital becomes, if not the best, one of the best in the country. The Vice Chancellor of the River State University and members of your team, our dear leaders that are here, the Mayor of Port Harcourt and your team, the Chairman of River State Traditional Rulers Council, and members of our council, particularly the Pararebisi, and members of the Port Harcourt Council of Chiefs, members of the State Executive Council, management and staff of this teaching hospital, our great house officers and interns that work in this teaching hospital, our dear leaders, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Let me congratulate the management and staff of this teaching hospital for coming out in their numbers to receive us for this wonderful occasion today. But before I go into the details so that I will not forget, the Chairman, Nigerian Medical Association, very brilliant young man who knows how to use language to see how the governor is convinced, even though he knows how difficult the governor is. When you talk about brain drain, it's not only associated to the medical profession. So many people leave this country because of unemployment. So many people have left this country because of insecurity. So many people have left this country because where they work, the equipment is not there. It is not just only because of welfare. That is why you see brain drain. No. It is not correct. Even as professors in the university, in the various faculties, in the Faculty of Law, Faculty of Engineering, most of them leave because the tools to work are not there. But you are lucky you have the tools here. You're only talking about welfare. So clap for us first that we have provided the basic thing. I'm sure the Commissioner of Health, when we went to commission the cancer center, I said, come, I know that you attended the University of Port Harcourt. He said, yes. Tell me the truth. Did you ever witness all this equipment? He said, he won't tell me lie. It was not there. And that is the truth of the matter. Today, you are lucky. You are working in a teaching hospital where you can find the equipment, at least to make your job easier for you. So it is not as bad as where the equipment are not there, then the welfare is not there. Two things. So if we have scored 1/2, I think we are passed. So I will say, of course, everybody will want to give incentives that will make you to put in your best. I mean, there's nobody that is working is entitled to allowances, hazard, or death allowance, or whatever you may call it. You're entitled to be paid. But again, the truth of the matter remains. Some of us who are in the civil service, do we really go to work as at when we are supposed to be work? I'm not against anybody earning whatever entitlement. No, I'm not against that. But we should also say, you that are seeking to end this, in your conscience, have you put in the number of hours that qualifies you to earn these allowances? I see mostly medical doctors, they appear to be more church-like. They hardly do you see any medical doctor that would not always go into a pastor. If you allow Dr. Friday Road now, he will go and preach. I hear he preaches in Winners Chapel. So, for me, if you know the government is owing you genuinely, not sitting down to work out anything, genuinely, I will pay. I will pay. But you must defend it before me. It's not just going to bring paper. I don't believe in that. You must defend it before me. So that is that. So, young man, thank you very much for calling my attention to this. I have said, one of the governors, whom I will soon reply, because I have the capacity to reply any of them. Simply because I said you should thank President Muhammadu Buhari for releasing 13% arrears to us. I did not abuse anybody, did I? All I said, please thank him. That if he did not release these arrears to me and some of our states, it may have been difficult for me to even talk about building a renal center, cardiovascular center, basic and clinical sciences, house officers' quarters, and this. It would be difficult. I don't think saying thank you is an offense. So on television, I heard one of the governors said, in his state, to do 3-kilometer road, we will do more than 15 flyovers. River State is not a Niger Delta state. Don't worry around areas in River State. Amanabo Mopopo said, since he was born, he has never driven by road to Opopo. The day he drove by road to Opopo, he said, God, is it possible that my own time, I'm not going through the river again, I'm now driving by road to Opopo? That is a major riverine area. By the grace of God, this December, we are going to commission the first phase of Trans-Calabari Road. That is a major riverine area. I didn't know the flyover, some people are sick about it. Okay, sorry, I don't want you to be sick again. I won't do again. Instead of you to appreciate and ask somebody, how are you doing this? And justify what you're doing. I've turned the state capital around using a major consortium firm like Julius Berger. If you know you have the capacity, If you know you have what it takes, go and take Julius Berger and see whether you can pay salary. Go and ask. People know the contractors I use in this state. I use Lubrix. I use Cetreco. I use Monia Construction. Some of them, nobody knows their contractor. Who are they? You all know who my contractors are. So now you have touched me. Anything you see, you take. If you know you're that governor, anything you see, you take. You know, every time I'm in my quiet way, they will not allow me to sleep. Pikin will say, Mama no go sleep, him go sleep. Him go sleep. When I start now, they say, Wike don't come again. But I'm proud to tell you it's not just flyovers. Look at the health sector alone. As at the time we came, this state had no medical college, only the University of Port Harcourt. And you can see how competitive, being a federal university, how many of our people get admission to read medicine and other related courses. I made a promise in 2014 to 2015 when I had an interactive session with Nigerian Medical Association. And I said to them, listen, if you give me support and I emerge as the governor of the state, I must make sure there's a medical college in Rivers State. Then, Rivers State University of Science and Technology. I don't even understand how a science-based university does not have a medical college. They were having philosophy, law. I've never seen such thing. But I thank God, with the wisdom of the Vice Chancellor and all of them, and they came up to say, listen, we must have to change this nomenclature. Let it be Rivers State University, so that it will be encompassing. We can bring in so many courses. And I thank God today, we have a medical school in that university. We have given free scholarship to Rivers indigenes to read medicine and other related courses in that university. I'm not a medical doctor. I did not give lawyers scholarship. No. We had a partnership with PAMO, University of Medical Sciences. Every section to take not less than 100 Rivers State people. And we are paying. We have reduced the burden on their parents. I know how expensive to train a medical doctor, how expensive to train a pharmacist and the rest of them. We said the Rivers State government is going to take this away from their parents. Before you know it, this state will be exporting medical doctors to other states. So when you say you require lab scientists, yes, we know. Today in Palmer Medical University, Medical College, we have had some of them who are graduating, and we are ending the agreement that, look, if a lab scientist don't go anywhere, Rivers State will give you automatic employment. So we are not just, because building all these things require manpower. You can't just build without manpower. No, you must have the manpower. People are retiring too. Even though some people will retire, they still want to be retained as a contract staff. And when some of you also talk about brain drain, let me also tell you this. I have traveled overseas several times. Some of the doctors there look for 3-4 jobs to do, to survive. Don't just be telling us brain drain. I say, we don't go out. We go out. Ask them. How many of you do 3, 4 jobs there to survive? 2, 3, 4 jobs to survive. Because they have to pay electricity tax. How many tax? Tell me. You don't ordinarily to pay NEPA bill is a problem. It's a problem. To pay even the radio is a problem. Property tax, oh, don't say that. So it should be, I think that this country is a blessing to all of us. It's a blessing to all of us. Here, you can grow. As you are here, you can grow to be a permanent secretary. As you are here, you can be a commissioner. You can be a governor. They don't have that opportunity. And we are not encouraging brain drain, no. We also know that there are advantages and there are disadvantages. So it's important, it's key. We have built the House Officers' quarters. Fine, good. God, they are very beautiful. But I give you 2 weeks. If it's also 2 weeks, you behave like police people. No, it's not a laughing matter. As young as you are, as medical doctor, house officers, if you can't keep where you are living clean, what happens when you begin to have families? We're all there, beautiful. I saw them line up. You are singing chorus for me, thanking me. Go and thank yourself. Make sure that place is clean as medical doctors. Look at the other one we handed over to the doctors. As you are passing that place, as you are passing that street, you look at the building. You just wonder. You want government to come and keep it clean for you. It is never done. It's never done. So also it is here. Those of you who will be managing the equipment and the rest, it must also to protect what we have. And that's why the Cancer Center, we're having an arrangement to see that it cannot just be government. No, we will not allow that. If we do that, 6 months, we will regret putting that center there. To spend 25.9 billion naira, and then you come back in 6 months, it looks like a barrack. I don't think anybody would accept that. So what we are doing, this hospital will be decongested. By the time the gynecology department and they move to the mother and child, it will be decongested. By the time the ENT goes to the Rebisi flyovers area, St. Paul's Church there, with the dental, facial, maxillo, go and see in the next few weeks, we should have commissioned those projects. So the department here will also move them there. Council Harrison Hospital, go and see what we are doing. So, as far as I'm concerned, before you know it, so many departments may not be here. And so here would have been decongested. And so, Dr. Aaron asking for acquiring more property does not arise. Because I have thought about it. If you are decongested, what are you still acquiring property for? Well, you know, as a leader, since you are the leader of this place, you have to suffer it first. Your department has to suffer it. But because you are my brother, I will help you to bring it back the way it's supposed to be. As for employment of more doctors, we are not going to do it differently. We're employing civil service. We're employing them to civil service. So they have submitted lists. What do we need in Ministry of Health? What do we need in Ministry of Justice? Of course, which of course will affect employment of doctors. So I cannot come now to give you, only you, to go employ doctors because they are civil servants. They must pass through the procedure of going through the Civil Service Commission. And now there's no Civil Service Commission, so we cannot allow for employment until I set it up, which will be done this week. And then they will call for advertisement for people who want to be employed. So giving you the opportunity alone now will mean you will sitting the round table and allocating it to yourselves. If you allocate to yourself, what do I allocate to myself? Are you the governor? So you have to wait so that as we do the employment, we'll do it together. But I must commend you. I must commend you. Because sometimes people say some people are young. Can they do it? I'm not here to, of course, you know me very well, to flatter you or to say things. No, if you're not doing well, I will tell you. Since I made you the CMD of this hospital, before it became teaching hospital, I have so been impressed. The reports I've been getting outside and my own personal observation. Once you are given an assignment, I've told anybody who cares, put in your best. That may be a stepping stone. You never can tell what appointment you may hold next. You have always been on me. This is bad. You want this. You want this. In fact, if I say how much was spent in this teaching hospital, the equipment alone and the beds and the rest, in fact, finally we just paid about 1.4 billion to end all this so-called contracting and the rest. Because I believe in you. Because I know you have the capacity to turn this teaching hospital around, and which you are doing. So every young man who has this an opportunity, utilize it well. So that at the end of the day, when you leave, those who work here will say, look, when Dr. Aaron was the CMD of this teaching hospital, we knew where we were. And see today, can we still say that is where we are, or if we have taken a step forward? And that is why I tell myself, it's not how much money you have amassed. It is what legacy have you put on ground. That when you leave, can you turn left, turn right, and say, yes, I'm happy, I'm justified. I have not disappointed my people. I made promises, and those promises have been fulfilled. In the health sector, in the judicial sector, in the infrastructure area, name them. I can put my two hands in my pocket and walk majestically on the road and say, look, I thank God Almighty for the opportunity. I have done well. If you like it, you go. If you don't like it, you go and hang yourself in a transformer. I have done very, very well. Even some of you here who are my enemies, you know I have done well. It's not true. Are you not aware? Even my enemies, they have been withdrawing their bad prayers. They say, God, please, that prayer will pray that he should die. Please, God, kill them first. Because we never expected this. I have constructed roads to people's houses where they never expected they will have roads. I have told anybody who cares, I will not leave a debt, 1 naira debt, for my successor. I will not. I want him to start on a clean note, his own. Let him not say, I came. There's a debt of about 50 billion naira. I will not do that. No debt. Of course, you know my successor. Are you thinking about successor? Don't you know our successor? You know our successor. Don't forget these bogey people who say that they are running election. Run which election? You must present your report card. You must present your report card. Some people have started running since 1999. They are still running as governor. They have become professional runners. So this renal center, to the glory of God, I have had so many people come to me. Or kidney, or liver, this and this. I need to travel to India. There's no facility here. They go to India, they come back, they still die. So we have one of the best. So all of you asking me for money to go to India, come here. The center is here now, is it not? Come here. If it's a complicated situation, it is the doctors that will say that it is complicated and therefore they will need a second opinion outside, not you. I think that by the time we see the equipment there and see how beautiful the place is, we'll have everything. We have qualified doctors who are competent, just that the tools to work are not there. We have started providing the tools. Since 14th of November, we have been commissioning one project to the other. We'll be ending on Friday 2nd. That means about 3 weeks daily commissioning of projects. If you know that you're in a position I occupy, go and commission your own. Go and commission your own. Don't say you don't want to commission. If it is not there, it is not there. That is what we say. If it didn't there, it didn't there. Because it is here, we are showcasing to the world. See what we are doing with our money. Nobody will ask us again, what do you do with the money? See what we are doing with River State money. So on this note, let me invite our leaders to join us as we commission this Renal Center. We have already commissioned the House of Stars quarter. And let me commend the contractor for the CMD chairman. God bless you.
You are too much, yes, so wicked. You are too much, infrastructure, Papa, we did. Open one of them, you are too much. If he did it, I say he did it. You are too much. You don't have to River State, turn them to go. Yes, so you do well. Good work you did for the River State. You too much.
The facility to be able to inspect from the reception into other areas of the center. Well, earlier you were told that there are a whole lot of facilities inside this center. There is the dialysis machine. Indeed, dialysis, as you all know or have heard, is a very expensive venture. Most people who suffer from kidney or renal problems usually spend lots of money in doing that around the country and overseas. And so bringing it here close to the people of River State and the environs, it's a great one, I must say. Not only the kidney or renal, there are associated diseases too that are being treated here according to the medical experts while they were speaking. Indeed, it's important, anything that concerns the kidney, the renal system and other parts of the body that is connected to the gonads, those diseases most of the times leads to very critical conditions, and the treatment thereof is usually very difficult, as it were. So experts are needed in this field. And the Chief Medical Director of the River State University Teaching Hospital has spoken here that indeed manpower training as part of the holistic thing to be done here was actually requested for. And that the governor has promised that it will be done, together with indeed bringing in some more hands in terms of medical doctors and so on and so forth. But the governor did say that, well, it wouldn't be just an isolated case of employing doctors. It will be the package that he has put forward, an employment in the civil service, because they'll be working under the Civil Service Commission. So that he has also said. What you're watching now are some of the machines that have been provided, and in that center, state-of-the-art birds and machines to be able to do.
ayelu wekwe meta makiru miki judu makego miki judu omakiye mwene kichi ababa makiru miki judu local boy eluwa ayo yo 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 ayelu wekwe meta adera wo ayo yo 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 ayelu wekwe meta eluwa ayo yo 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 ayelu wekwe meta adera wo ayo yo 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 ayelu wekwe meta eluwa ayo yo 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 ayelu wekwe meta adera wo ayo yo 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 ayelu wekwe meta if I live a good life, do the right and not the wrong, I know my God will make a way for me. If I live a good life, do the right and not the wrong, I know my God will make a way for me. Oh, lera, oh, 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 lera, bari, oh, lera, oh, oh, lera, bari, bari, oh, 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 lera, bari, oh, lera, oh, oh, lera, bari, oh,